Welcome, my dear students. Today we will talk about a very important topic, which is market equilibrium. In general, remember, when we talk about market, we can write as equation equal demand plus supply based on interaction between demand and supply, so we talk about price. Market equilibrium. To understand the concept of equilibrium, we will focus on number of quantity demanded or the value of quantity demanded, the value of quantity supplied. There is only one price for market equilibrium. It's very important for this point, to remember this point. It's only one price to create market equilibrium. So, market equilibrium when quantity demanded equal quantity supplied. For example, suppose quantity demanded equal 10, quantity supplied equal 10, so this is market equilibrium. 10 as units, in this case talk about equilibrium quantity. What about the price that create this equilibrium? This is equilibrium price. So equilibrium price, the price that balances supply and demand. Balances supply and demand. By graph, we will talk about intersection between demand curve and supply curve. What about equilibrium quantity? The quantity that balances supply and the demand. The same intersection between demand curve and the supply curve. By numbers, we can compare between demand schedule and supply schedule, okay? Based on trend or values, as price increase, quantity demanded decrease. So when the price equals 0 in case of demand, quantity demanded 19. Price equal $0.5, quantity decreased from 19 to 16. So negative relationship between the price and the quantity demanded, all the other factors constant. What about market supply or supply schedule? When the price equals 0, quantity 0. When the price equal 0.5, quantity 0. When the price equal 1, the quantity 1. So as the price increase, quantity supplied increased. So positive relationship between quantity supplied and price, all the other factors constant. So where is the equilibrium? The equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Number one, focus on quantity. Quantity demanded equal quantity supplied. In which price? Okay, we will check that. At price 2, quantity demanded equals 7 units. At price 2, quantity supplied equals 7 units. So this is market equilibrium. Market equilibrium at price 2. So this is the equilibrium price. What about equilibrium quantity? 7. So in this case, at price $2, the quantity demanded 7 is equal to the quantity supplied, the same 7. What about by graph? Okay, this is demand curve DD, downward sloping, to explain the negative relationship between price of T, as example for our product, and the quantity of T. What about supply curve SS? Positive relationship or upward curve to explain the positive relationship between price of T and the quantity of T. Where is equilibrium? This point. Intersection between demand curve and supply curve. At this point, quantity demanded equal 7. Quantity supplied equals the same, 7. What about equilibrium price? 2. What about equilibrium price? 2. The next, market disequilibrium. Okay, market disequilibrium in general, we talk about two cases. Maybe surplus or excess supply, maybe shortage or excess demand. So in two cases, surplus or shortage, quantity supplied not equal quantity demand, may be greater or lower. So this is the first case of market disequilibrium, surplus or excess supply. When I ask you define surplus, when your answer, when the price is above the equilibrium price, when the price is greater than the equilibrium price. So quantity supplied exceeds or greater than the quantity demand. So there is excess supply or a surplus. So surplus you can write by equation quantity supplied greater than quantity demanded, or quantity demanded lower than quantity supplied. By graph, this is equilibrium, yes. What about surplus? Equilibrium price equal to all prices greater than 2, we talk about surplus. Why? Because this is quantity demanded, for example, with price 2.5. Quantity demanded equal 4, but quantity supplied equal 10. So QS greater than QD, or QD lower than QS. So this is surplus or excess supply. So this is the first case of disequilibrium. Okay, but equilibrium is still intersection between demand and supply. This is equilibrium and this is disequilibrium. The next case, or the second case for market disequilibrium, when we talk about shortage or excess demand. On the other hand, when we talk about any price lower than the equilibrium price or below the equilibrium price, in this case, quantity demanded exceeds or greater than the quantity supplied, so there is excess demand or shortage. You can write as quantity demanded greater than quantity supplied, or quantity supplied lower than quantity demanded. By graph, still we talk about one equilibrium with price 2 and the quantity 7. Quantity demanded equals 7, quantity supplied equals 7 at price 2. Any price below equilibrium, any price below equilibrium, for example 1.5. What about this case? At 1.5, intersection with demand, intersection with supply. Intersection with supply, so quantity supplied equal 4 units. Intersection with demand, quantity demanded equal 10 units. So in this case, quantity demanded greater than quantity supplied, or quantity supplied lower than quantity demanded. So in this case, talk about shortage. We talk about shortage. All in all, summary for this presentation: only one price create equilibrium. This is equilibrium price. We talk about two cases for disequilibrium. Case number 1, any price above or greater than equilibrium, so we talk about surplus or excess supply. Any price below the equilibrium price, we talk about shortage or excess demand. See you next lecture, and goodbye, my dear students.